Hey everybody, hope you're having a great day. SW Miron here. If you are joining us today for the first time, thank you so much. Nice to meet you. Happy to have you. And if you have been here before, thanks for coming back. There have been some pretty loyal subscribers, which I really appreciate. And don't forget, check, because you might think that you subscribed and you might not have. So if you're somebody that you come back and you watch this each week, definitely subscribe. Once I get to 50 people who have subscribed, then I can start doing this live, which will be such a different experience, and I think just such a better experience. Not to say that I think that what I'm doing is like a waste of time or that it's not good content, but I know it'll be so much better when it's interactive, when people can ask live questions, when people can give live feedback. Like that's where like the real learning takes place. And like real breakthroughs happen for people, especially in the mental health realm. So yeah, that's just something to think about. So I want to start by sharing with you some lyrics. Can you see it? The worst is over. The monsters in my head are scared of love. Fallen people, listen up. It's never too late to change your luck. And that's by Diplo, and the song is Revolution. I love the line, it's never too late to change your luck, because that's the truth. No matter how desperate things get, no matter how bad things get, you might feel like you're so at the end of your rope and there is just nothing left. There's no further rock bottom. That's not true. The rock bottom is limitless. You create your own rock bottom. So I'd be careful with that. But you can always make a change. You can always start brand new. Every single day you have that opportunity. I learned that pretty hardcore when I was in rehab. I went by choice to an outpatient rehab back in 2014 when I really needed some assistance making different choices with substance abuse. And I'm so grateful that I put myself in that program and that I went to the groups like 3 times a week. And, I took away, if anything, it's that even when you think and you doubt yourself with everything you've got, like take a deep breath and like do the scary thing anyway, because you'll come out on top. You have to take a chance sometimes in order for something to change, right? If you don't do anything different, nothing is going to change in your world. So I don't know, it's never too late to change your luck. Think about that one. I wanted to share a little bit off of Facebook. Yep, you heard me. Facebook. Now, I happened to recently notice a trend on my social media accounts of an influx of people writing nasty things like on other people's posts that maybe are like a positive message about mental health or something basic like that. They're just being asshole like internet trolls. Okay, like I'm not giving them too much credit because that's what they want, so I'm not giving them that much credit. But we have to do something to help our peers in the mental health community, because not everybody is going to be brave enough to stand up to somebody on the computer. And maybe you are brave enough behind a keyboard, but maybe not in person. I don't know. Everybody's different. I'm the same person whether I'm behind a keyboard or I'm looking at you in the face. But that's me. There's a lot of people that exist one way online, and then in person, they are very different. So you got to think about this as like, we're like a whole team, We're like a whole unit. Okay? We're mental health warriors, and mental health warriors carry invisible backpacks filled with the heaviest bricks in there, and so much trauma and so much suffering. But they're invisible. So everywhere we go, nobody can see if I'm wearing a backpack, if you're wearing a backpack, if he's wearing a backpack, if she's wearing a backpack, right? It's like a secret identity. But there's real power in like a strength in numbers. So I wanted to share a little bit of this article that I found from To Write Love on Our Arms, because I think that, well, I don't think, I know, if there's going to be a place that has some of the most up-to-date and like relevant information pertaining to mental health, it would always be To Write Love on Our Arms. In case you don't know what To Write Love on Our Arms is, I'll quickly try to explain. Back in, like, I want to say it was 2006. Yeah, back in 2006, a girl named Renee, she was struggling with drug addiction, depression, suicide ideation, and self-harm. She was going through absolute hell. She was on the highway to hell. She was just waiting for her ticket out of here. Lucky for her, she has some friends that really care about her. So they tried to bring her to rehab, and this might be informational for some of you. You can't go to rehab if you have drugs in your system. I know. Some people think that that's the wildest thing. Like, what do you mean? Like, I'm coming here to quit drugs. Why can't I have drugs in my system? No. So Renee needed a lot of help. More help than her and her friends were going to be able to figure out. So they ended up meeting some other friends. The guy at the rehab had told her, in 5 days, if you come back in 5 days, I will give you a spot in this rehab when you're ready. But you have to be clean for those 5 days. And those people rallied around her and were the reason that she had the strength to stay clean and sober during that time and to get the help she needed. So fast forward to 2026, 20 years later, this story was shared on MySpace. I know there's some people listening to this that won't even know what MySpace is. But this was shared on MySpace, and then it went viral. It was like one of the first things to go viral. And suddenly it just like spread like wildfire. And so many people were sending, messages to the To Write Love on Our Arms account saying, oh my God, I thought I was the only person on the whole planet that cut themselves. Or, oh my God, I thought I was the only person on the whole planet that had bipolar disorder and it's kicking my ass. Like, this, post that you made gave me hope. That's what their organization does. And I'm very, very lucky. I'm very connected with the organization, and I don't know how I got this lucky, but I was chosen to be one of the people that got interviewed for the short documentary that's coming out on May 31st. It will be on YouTube. It's called To Write Love, and it's talking about the movement, celebrating 20 years of the movement. So here's a little bit from their post. A recent global advisor survey across 30 nations found that nearly half of respondents identified mental health as a major concern in their nation, ranking higher than concerns related to cancer, physical health changes tied to weight, or drug abuse. As concerns around mental health continue to rise, so do concerns around stress. Nearly 1 in 3 people surveyed identified stress as a serious problem, while 59% shared that within the last year they experienced moments where stress felt completely unmanageable. These findings reflect what we hear from people every single day. So many are trying to navigate burnout, depression, loneliness, overwhelming stress, and the weight of trying to keep going. If you're struggling right now, We hope that this reminds you of something important. You are not alone. You do not have to hide your pain or carry it by yourself. Support, connection, and care are all possible. One of the most striking findings from the survey was when people were asked what actions they took after experiencing poor mental health in the last year, nearly half said they did not seek support through any of the following. So these are the things that the people who were surveyed and said, I've been having a really tough time with my mental health. They did not do any of the following things. They did not talk to a doctor, a counselor, a friend, a family member. They did not take time off to rest. And they did not use medication as a treatment option. There is still a significant gap between recognizing a struggle and receiving support. Why? Well, barriers exist. There's stigma around asking for help. And I know that it makes it sound really small and really easy to just be like, oh, well, just don't care what anybody thinks, or, just stand up to the people that, treat you like jerks and stuff like that. That's not helpful for me to say those things. I do want to encourage you, though, look at it like our army of mental health warriors. We are the only ones who have any chance, any power in changing the dynamics about how mental health is perceived, how it's judged, what people say about it, all of that. So please, please, please remember how important your spot is on this army and do your part. Maybe you can make a post about it on one of your social media platforms. Maybe you have a conversation with somebody that you have coffee with this week and you talk about a little bit of, some mental health topics. I don't know. But we have to just break out of this shit where it's like we're scared. It's like we're scared. It's like we can't handle it, or we're worried about what might happen, so we're just not going to do it. That's never going to create change. Never. And change is needed so desperately. So desperately. So I had a strategy for us tonight to talk about, but I'm looking at the time and there's just no way that I'll be able to fit that in. So I'll have to push that to next time. But I do have something that I can share with you that I have just in case I have a couple minutes left and I wanted to share. So I'm a writer and I dork out on writing. I love poetry in particular. And there is this poet whose name is Sierra DeMulder, and she wrote a spoken word poem called Werewolf. I'm going to read it for you now. Now, I need you to know, there's no way I can even come close to delivering this poem the way that she delivers it. So I highly recommend you look up Sierra DeMulder Werewolf, because you got to see her do it. It makes it 50 million times better, and it's already such a work of art. So, Werewolf. The sun is setting on our eyelids, so listen to the cadence above my rib cage. Something wicked lies here, dormant, beating the shit out of my insides just to remind me that it's there. I am a werewolf. I walk into the daylight with scratches that came from the darkness of my pores, but I swear I never wanted to die. I was 14 years old, this thin wrist-kissed kitchen knife on my yellow bedspread with white flowers, no red flowers, no blood, because it was just a kitchen knife, and I was just seeing how thick the stubborn skin was. The second was a lady's razor, The third was an X-Acto knife. The fourth was a box cutter, which to this day I still have. It is rusted. Like Ophelia, I am attracted to water. Blue handle, red blade, I have thrown it away twice. Sent its demons to slice its shadows, waiting until I missed it. Most people see box cutters and think airplanes, think failed security, think rectangles and pentagons. Me, I just see red lines like lipstick. More addictive than cocaine, this is dependence. Stripped of pipes and filters, I am captivated by straight strokes and sharp edges. My father has been dry for 14 years, and he tells me an alcoholic is always an alcoholic. And sober is just another word for thirsty. My hands are too thirsty to admit on paper the last time I etched regret into my leg because the blade is still in me. This sickness is still in me, and every day it calls to me to open up and let it breathe. I have felt it dancing like the devil, felt metal kissing tissue, howled temptation into my scars when the moon was blackened out, carved, I am better than this on the inside of my thighs, and in the morning the scars just read weakness. My own fingers are abusive, so shoot me with a silver bullet. Hold my hands away from their victim. It's like the shower water is gasoline and you're playing with matches. It's like you're looking through a stack of needles for a piece of daylight. It's like saying it's a rusty nail, saying it's barbed wire, saying it's a cat scratch. It's not doing the one thing you want to when you know it only hurts yourself, so why the hell not? When all you want to do is break like bones, go into the drawer that isn't ever opened anymore. I do not have layers of eyeliner and teenage angst. I am not a little girl just looking to get looked at. I do not walk down the street or across it. I just live there. I am not looking for pity. I have baskets full. I am not looking for attention. There's a reason you don't see any scars. I think it's sick that this remedy requires something to be broken. I do not believe the Band-Aids are healing. They are just another layer. This is just another way of feeling. I hope you enjoyed Werewolf. And I hope you have a great rest of your night. You know? Call to arms, rally the troops, get out there in the world, spread positive messages about mental health. Let people know that there's no such thing as hopeless. Just hopeful. That's what we need. We need people to raise their voices and say things like that. So I beg you, please call to arms. All right. I hope everybody has a great rest of your night. I will talk to you next week. Bye.